All right, AU Beyond MMA family. Stop scrolling for a second because what you're about to hear is not just a fight breakdown. This is a moment in UFC history. This is the night an era cracked. This is the night power met volume. This is the night a man who had never been knocked out finally ran into something different. Because UFC 317 didn't just give us a free fight, it gave us a statement. Ilia Topuria versus Max Holloway wasn't supposed to look like this. It wasn't supposed to end like this, and it definitely wasn't supposed to change the way we talk about the featherweight division forever. So today, we're going all the way back, shot by shot, moment by moment, to break down the UFC 317 free fight between Ilia Topuria and Max Holloway, and why this fight will be talked about long after the highlights stop circulating. If you think you already know the story, trust me, stay with me, because context matters, and this fight has layers. Let's get into it. From the moment both men stepped into the octagon, you could feel it. No antics, no trash talk, no theatrics. Just two elite fighters standing across from each other, fully aware of what was at stake. 5 rounds if needed. Undisputed UFC featherweight championship. Max Holloway, the volume king, the man who breaks people with pace, the guy who turns fights into drowning pools, a fighter so durable that knocking him down was considered rare, knocking him out almost unthinkable. And across from him, Ilia Topuria, calm, composed, red and gold trunks. The challenger who wasn't acting like a challenger. The man who had been saying for years that he was going to change this division, whether people believed him or not. No words needed to be spoken. The bell rings, and immediately you see the respect. Max doesn't do the early point down. He doesn't play games. He knows Ilia's power early is real. That's veteran IQ right there. Max Holloway has been in too many wars to make that mistake. Right away, Max starts doing what Max does best. Kicks, front kicks, body kicks, staying long, staying loose, wearing those floral Hawaiian trunks, bouncing on the balls of his feet, trying to establish range and rhythm. This is the Max Holloway that has frustrated champions for years. Ilia, on the other hand, is patient, and that's important. He doesn't rush. He doesn't overextend. He doesn't chase. He takes his time. Because when you have that kind of power, you don't need to force anything. You let the openings come to you. You start seeing Max pop the jab on the way out. Classic Holloway. Touch and move. Touch and move. He's trying to make Ilia walk into volume. Trying to set that pace that breaks people by round 3, 4, 5. But here's the thing. Ilia isn't biting. You can already see the difference in approach. Ilia's jab is stiff. His right hand is loaded. Every punch he throws looks like it has intent behind it. Even when he misses, it feels heavy. Then something happens that you almost never see. Ilia gets in on Max's hips and takes him down, and that's a moment because Max Holloway is notoriously hard to take down clean. He reads grappling well. He defends transitions, but Ilia doesn't give him time. He doesn't give him space. He commits to it. Even though Max scrambles back up, the message is sent. Now Max has to think, because once you show a takedown, everything changes. Now the hands come down just a little. Now the guard tightens. Now the feints mean more. And for a boxer like Ilia Topuria, that's exactly what he wants. Back on the feet, the leg kicks start to show up. Outside calf kicks from Ilia. And this isn't random. This is a calculated investment. One of Max's greatest weapons is his footwork. You take away the footwork, you take away the volume. We've seen this before. Volkanovski did it. Ilia is doing it now. You start to see swelling under Ilia's eye early, but he doesn't react, doesn't change anything, stays composed. Max continues throwing kicks, staying busy, staying long, but Ilia keeps touching that lead leg. Round 1 closes with Max throwing more, Ilia landing heavier. Ilia gets a couple takedowns, but doesn't do much with them. Max is finding rhythm late. The crowd is buzzing. It already feels like a chess match, not a brawl, and that's dangerous. Because when a power puncher fights smart, you don't always see the end coming. Round 2 starts, and now Max is really getting into his groove. The jab is sharper, the combinations are cleaner. He's landing right hands, he's touching Ilia up, and the commentary starts saying it. Max is getting the better of the boxing exchanges. This is where people start thinking, okay, this is going how Max wants it. He's throwing volume like crazy. By the time round 2 is halfway done, Max has already thrown nearly 200 strikes. That's insane. That's Max Holloway math. Most fighters don't hit that number in 5 rounds. But here's the thing. Ilia is still there. And more importantly, Ilia is landing. The right hand starts to find its mark. Not once, not twice, multiple times. Clean, sharp. You see Max react just a little. And if you've watched Max Holloway long enough, you know that reaction is rare. Ilia is still chopping that leg, still patient, still waiting. Max eats shots that would drop other fighters. We've learned that about him over the years. He got knocked down once by Dustin Poirier. That's about it. He's built different. But even Max can't ignore what's coming. The crowd gets louder. The tension builds. Every exchange feels like it could flip the fight. Round 3 begins, and Ilia takes the center of the octagon. That's important, because that means he's ready to step on the gas. You see the jab land early. The leg kick follows. Max switches stance briefly, then switches back. Ilia keeps going to the calf, keeps attacking the base, and then it happens. A massive right hand lands. Max is stunned. For the first time in his UFC career, you see Max Holloway visibly hurt on his feet. He backs toward the fence, and Ilia knows. Instantly, there's no hesitation, no pause, no overthinking. He steps in, a slap to set it up, a brutal right hand, a crushing left hook. Max Holloway hits the canvas, and the arena explodes. Hammer fists follow. Mark Goddard steps in. It's over. 1 minute and 34 seconds into round 3. Ilia Topuria has just done something no one else in MMA history had ever done. He knocked out Max Holloway. Let that sink in. Not beat him, not outpoint him, not edge a decision. Knocked him out. 2 fights into his undisputed title reign, Ilia Topuria has finished Alexander Volkanovski and Max Holloway, the 2 greatest featherweights of all time, back to back. At 27 years old, this isn't just a win, this is a changing of the guard. You hear the commentary struggling to even describe it. They start comparing the power. Jose Aldo was powerful, but not like this. Max was dangerous, but not like this. Conor McGregor is the only name that comes close at 145. And even then, Ilia feels different. Because it's not reckless power, it's controlled, it's patient, it's educated. And after the fight, the respect is there. Ilia doesn't celebrate wildly, he doesn't taunt, he goes over to Max, shows respect, acknowledges the legend he just beat. People have misread Ilia's confidence as arrogance, but moments like this show the difference. He believed he was the best long before the belt, and now that he has it, he's carrying it with composure. Joe Rogan says it perfectly. Ilia believed before the opportunity came, and when it came, he delivered. At 27 years old, he's still talking about development, about refining skills, and that's the scary part, because we haven't even seen his full jiu-jitsu yet. The featherweight division has officially entered a new era. Volkanovski, Holloway, legends. But now they're in the rearview mirror. Ilia Topuria isn't the future anymore. He's the present. And this free fight at UFC 317 is the kind of fight that defines generations. The kind of fight you send to casual fans and say, this is why MMA is different. So now I want to hear from you. Where does this win rank all time at featherweight? Is Ilia Topuria the most dangerous champion in the UFC right now? And what does Max Holloway's legacy look like after a loss like this? Drop your thoughts in the comments. If you enjoyed this breakdown, hit the like button, subscribe to AU Beyond MMA, and I'll catch you in the next one. Because if this is the start of Ilia Topuria's reign, we might be witnessing something special.